So from content creator to content creator, we
Okay.
gotta talk about the infamous rejections.
Oh,
So, you know, like when you try to interview people, of course, as content creators, we're gonna get like constantly get rejected. So, out of how many people do you say you need to ask until you get like a yes?
it varies a lot. I think it also kind of depends on who you ask.
Right.
Not from content creator to content creator. I mean more from like the audience to audience. Like for example, just out when I'm doing like street interviews and stuff. If I had to like really average it out to a number, I'd say maybe 1 in 4 groups say yes.
Oh, that's quite good.
Yeah, 1 in 4.
Right. Okay.
And I think part of what helps with that is I kind of walk up looking kind of stupid to begin with. So like people like if I came up like very serious, I think people would be more reluctant.
Right.
If
Yeah.
they see-
Yes. True.
If they see that I'm being silly, then they feel a little bit more comfortable being silly.
Yeah, I saw like a video about that, and it's called tonality. So, for example, if I tell you good morning in 2 different ways, right?
Mhm.
So, for example, good morning, right? I would say, hey, good morning.
Right.
Like you feel the energy, and it's more receptive. So, I think it's that what you
Yeah,
you
it's
mean?
it's contagious.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think also, like for example, like you reached out to me like as a person who makes videos to another person who makes videos.
Yeah.
I've reached out to other people who make videos
Uh-huh.
to see if I could like do something cool collaboration with them
Yeah.
or something like this. And in that field, I've always been ignored.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. It's a hit or miss. Like me too. You know, I message a lot of people, and some of them get scared. Some of them block me. Like I'll message somebody, and like 2 weeks later, I'll be checking my messages, and I'll just see like, when someone's blocked you, right? Their picture disappears.
Oh, does
I'm
it?
like, wow, they are paranoid. Or
Oh,
something.
wow.
Yeah, it happens. So I mean, you just gotta like ignore it. I think like we get immune. Like if you get rejected and you take it on, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's a part of the process. Like
You can't-
you
You can't take it personal.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Like for me personally, I try like whenever someone sends me a message request on Instagram or whatever it is, I try to reply. And like for all my YouTube stuff, I read like every comment. But I'm like have a fairly small audience, right? So I don't know maybe if you have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, it's probably not easy to reply to every single person.
Yeah, I know. So like with me messaging people who have a lot of subscribers, I'm kind of like iffy on that because I'm not sure if they're gonna reply or not.
Right.
But you still have to like take a chance.
Yeah. and-
But you have a lot,
I mean,
like 170 something. I think.
no, not that many songs.
Oh, not so many. Okay. No, I'm talking about Instagram.
On Instagram, I think I have like 30,000 followers,
Oh.
something like that.
Okay.
It's about the same on YouTube,
Okay. Okay.
but it's enough where I can get enough comments, or I could like go through a day's worth of comments, within like 30 minutes. Like it doesn't take an
Okay.
obscene amount of time. But for some people, I imagine like you get like 1 million subs, you're getting so many like there's no way that you can read through them all.
Yeah, true.
And also, I think there's also the worry of like for example, some dudes if they get like really wealthy, right? Or like it's really when you have anything that's like worth having, I imagine there's going to be a part of you that's concerned like, oh, is this person interested in me because of me or because of like my money or my Instagram follower or
Yeah, true.
my beauty or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
to worry about that, but
Yeah.
but
yeah.
so I understand like me as a relatively small creator, if I message somebody with like 500,000 subscribers, like someone who has like 100 times my following,
Yeah.
I can understand. Well, they might be like, well, does this guy even want to hang out with me, or is he just trying to use me because he wants to get to my audience?
Yeah. You know who talked about that? Someone famous, Tupac. Yeah, I remember like a week ago I was watching a video with him and he was in the club and no girls want to talk to him, and then he's famous and someone whisper to them who he is,
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden they want to date him. So
Right.
he was like big on
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah, it's about like recognition, and he comments to the guys who were like commenting like, you know, they're only gonna care because you're somebody, right?
Right.
Yeah, like personally, I don't like that, you know. But I think when you get famous, also, it will change you mentally.
Yeah.
Because you could do things that you couldn't do before, right?
Right.
So of course you could get away with certain things, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's easy to say that, you know, like, oh, I wouldn't change if I got, you know, wealthy, or I wouldn't change if I got
Right,
famous. But I think it's like, you don't know what you don't know. Like, no.
Yeah, I know. True.
You don't know what it's like to be famous until you're famous.
Yeah,
It's like it's an experience that's, you know, that can't be explained. I imagine. I mean, maybe it is, but like, what if I had to guess? You know, there's no amount of words that Ariana Grande or like Michael Jackson could tell me that would, you know, encompass how they felt at their like height of their stardom.
Yeah, it's like some things you just have to experience yourself. Like,
Right.
Like even though someone tell you this is the bad points and the good points, sometimes I think you just have to go through the bad, like to see for yourself. You know? Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not all bad. Otherwise, people wouldn't want to be famous, right?
Oh,
I'm sure there's pretty good stuff too.
No, I mean it's like pros and cons to everything. You know, like I would say the con is like you can't go anywhere without people like bombarding you.
Right.
You know, but I guess it might be a good poison, so to speak. You know, like if you could make a sacrifice to have that wealth, and the sacrifice is to be bothered all the time.
Right. Well,
You
I
might
mean,
choose that, you know, rather than what you currently have.
Some people might like to be bothered. You know, I don't. Some people
Yeah,
might like
true.
the attention. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like for me, I'm like getting to the point now where I get recognized in Shibuya pretty much every time I go out now, and that's pretty cool, you know. But at the same time, like I'm out there to make a video, and while I'm making the video, like I'm already in that frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone recognizes me and like is like, "Hi, I want to take a picture," it's like that's a positive experience for me.
Yeah, the people know you. Like I've been talking about you with my friends. I'm like watching your videos, and I'll be showing my friends will be like, yeah, I know that guy.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So you're popular.
Well, yeah, but I'm certainly not popular enough to ever be recognized like outside of Shibuya. Like
Okay.
especially not even if I'm in Shibuya, if I'm not wearing my like suit and stuff, people are not gonna recognize me probably.
Yeah, when I saw you, I was like,
Yeah, you were
"He's
like
different." Yeah.
Who the hell's that?
Oh, yeah, by the way, if I ask or say anything that you don't want to say, I'll just edit it out. Okay.
Oh, dude,
don't worry
no,
about
no,
that.
no. I want this to be
Yeah.
as up to your discretion as possible.
Okay.
You
But-
can. I mean, like. I mean, it would be a bummer if you like did some sort of cut to make it sound like I said something I didn't.
Oh, no. Just call me out on it if I do that.
I don't expect you to do that.
But
I
my
just-
next question is,
Okay.
with the little following that you have, the bodies slipping in the DMs, the body. I don't know if you know that term.
Oh, like what, women?
Yes. Yeah. we call it bodies. I don't know. It's an internet term. If you don't want to say it.
No, that's funny. No, I have a girlfriend.
No, still, they slept, right? Like, they could message you. That's not going to stop people from...
I suppose. I guess. But I don't really. Let me see.
Yeah, you know. You don't play. You know.
No, I'm serious.
Because, okay, if you open your messages and you see, like, you saw my message, of course, like,
I mean,
you're going to see the other girls.
most of the messages that I get are from like fans, and they don't like say their gender usually. It's not like, oh hey, I'm a fan and I'm a girl. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, you know, they just say that I'm a fan, and it could be a dude, it could be a girl, and whenever people message me, I don't really like look at their profiles or anything.
Okay.
I just keep the conversation between us.
So for me, you didn't look at my profile.
No, yours-
You didn't see my content or anything.
Yours, I checked your channel because you were specifically asking me to participate.
No. I mean my Instagram channel. That's why I messaged you on.
No, I didn't see your Instagram profile.
By the way, so on my Instagram, I do like funny videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't see. I just saw your YouTube because I thought that was what the medium was.
Oh no, I do like it's complete. My Instagram is completely different from my YouTube.
Oh,
And I have I do the same thing as you actually, like shoot interviews on a different channel, and that's called World Talker. Yeah. So I have
Okay.
experience in that also, not
I
just
see, I see.
podcast. Yeah. So I try to do as much things as possible.
right.
Right.
But one thing I have noticed is not necessarily in the DMs or anything, but in real life. Like when I'm recording, I'll be, hanging out with people in the street or something, and like you can tell just in the air how someone is kind of perceiving you a little bit. At least there's some intuition there, right? You might not get it 100% accurate.
Okay.
But I have had several instances where I could tell that like a girl was like not at all looking in my direction. Like they knew that I was there, but they weren't like obviously they're paying no mind to me. But then when people come up and are like, "Oh, dude, you're that guy," and then they like start taking pictures with me, then they seem to perk up and they're like, "Oh, who's that?" And then they start talking to me, and then like now they're suddenly laughing at my jokes more.
Okay.
So suddenly they're like, "Oh, like they're touching my arm or whatever."
I know, that's like little hints. Yeah. But you have a girlfriend.
Yeah, of course.
So I heard that when you have a girlfriend, girls are attracted to you more than if you're single, because you don't give off that like thirst energy, like you're already taken, so you're not giving them attention. And I think girls are accustomed getting attention, so when you don't give them attention, they feel as though, like you're a commodity, you're rare. Maybe I should be attracted to them. I think that's the.
I think there's definitely truth to that.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of multifaceted. I think it's one, it's internal in how like you express yourself, which is what you mentioned, I think, about like how people who are in a relationship are not going to seem as desperate. They're not going to seem like they want to get in your pants. So like,
right.
I can understand why that's kind of more attractive for people. And I think it's also external where, for example, there's like a phenomenon that I hear about. I mean, I can't say from experience because I'm not like married.
You're married?
No, I said I'm not married.
Oh, you're not married. Okay. Yeah.
But people who are married, I've heard many stories say that like once they have a wedding ring, women tend to hit on them more. And from what I've read on the internet, according to people, I mean, again, this is just hearsay. But what people are saying is that women see that you're like a vetted person. Like you're somebody,
right.
Like you have to keep in mind, if you put yourself in the perspective of a woman, a lot of the times, like, at least this is, I don't necessarily agree with this, but this seems to be the common perception.
I heard that also, what you're talking about.
Is that, like, for women it's more dangerous, or it's like more risky, I suppose, to go into a casual relationship, in a sense.
Okay.
And they have more to lose. At least I don't necessarily agree, but this is a common kind of perception that I hear about. And if you go for a dude that's taken, it's like, oh, okay, another woman has given the seal of approval, so I know it's maybe a bit safer than just some guy.
But that doesn't make sense because he's taken and he can be with her anyway, right?
Well, I just think that it's not the conclusion that I necessarily disagree with. It's the like initial thought that like it's more risky for women. I suppose it's more risky just inherently on average. Like men are biologically stronger than women on average.
Yeah, well, so, not all, but yeah.
Yeah, so like if something goes wrong, a dude could overpower. You know what I mean? There's things that can go wrong.
But what women don't realize is that those guys who don't act thirsty have girls already. Right? So what my advice to girls is that it makes no sense going after those guys because they are already busy with girls. The reason why they are not thirsty is because their thirst is quenched. Right? Right, so that means right now they're playing. So if you want to avoid a player, theory is you avoid guys who are not thirsty is my opinion on that. Because the guys who don't have, if you don't have food, you're going to be hungry and you're only going to be thinking about food, right? So if you're acting calm and you don't need this, I think that should raise alarm bells for women. In my opinion.
I mean, I can see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? The direction I'm going,
it's not like a rational like decision. It's just a matter of like desperation is not attractive inherently, I think.
I know. But if you look into it deeper, right? So I see a guy, I'm a girl, and he's like not caring. Like, if I think about it, he has girls, right? Like, why? Why isn't he acting thirsty? That means he has something, right?
I mean, that's not even necessarily true. Like, I think part of why I am like decent with. I mean, I don't want to blow my own horn here.
Blow it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Part of the reason why I think I'm like maybe better than average with girls is because you have to embody that mentality regardless of whether or not you have a girlfriend. Like, you have to be okay with, like, you don't want to be like, okay, how do I explain this?
I know the mentality behind it. I know like girls are like unattracted to desperation, right?
Yeah.
So any like logical, forward-thinking guy would realize this and not do it on purpose. Even
Right.
though he's actually feeling desperate, he will like tuck that away inside and act in accordance to what is attractive.
Right.
Yeah. So that's like forward-thinking people.
Well, I mean, I just think that, like, you don't want to. Okay.
And that's common sense. Like everyone, all guys will, but some guys can't act on that. You know, like they act more on impulse and emotion. So it's like logic versus emotion, and not many people can balance that.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it's just a matter of like putting the cart before the horse. I think, like you don't need to, like, chasing after people is kind of pointless.
I agree. I agree with that.
You should always just try to, like, if you're always working on yourself, or you're always trying to like make yourself a better person or whatever it is, then people are like drawn to that.
So you're more on the like the energy kind of thing. You attract what you. I hear people talking about this in Instagram, like what do you call it? Law of abundance. So if you think something and you are focusing on yourself and you're doing right, you'll attract other people who are also like being in that same energy.
I think you just attract people. Period.
Okay,
Like,
right.
Yeah, because
right.
I mean, people like people that are driven. People like people that
It's
can
just
do
natural.
cool things.
Yeah.
Like if you spend an hour like chasing somebody versus an hour, I don't know, like reading a book or some shit. Like,
And more productive.
it's not about more productive. Like, I'm not even talking about like whether it's better for you. I'm talking like cynically, if you're just trying to like get girls. Like, even if even if that's the only thing you care about. Like, I'm not trying to be some like self-help guru. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to say, like, even if you're like solely like, I just want to smash, you know, if that's really what you want, then actually the most efficient way to do that
is to focus on yourself.
Is to focus on yourself.
Right.
And then the people will be more interested in you. Like, if you're a more interesting person, if you can, you know, in that respect, then people will be more interested in you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I think the idea of like chasing somebody, like, you're never going to catch up to somebody who's running away from you.
I know, because they're running for a reason. So you just have to like respect that they're running,
and there's so many people, like, dude, if you like go outside and talk to people, there's like, you can meet hundreds of people in such a tiny amount of time.
Yeah, well, you would know.
Yeah,
because
like,
that's your thing.
And it's not hard. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so many people are receptive. Like, I think people, you know, have like, I mean, maybe it's, you know, hard for some people because I have like almost zero like anxiety.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, almost to like a bad point. Like my lack of anxiety is like not like the reason for like 90% of my failures as a human.
Well, I kind of overcome my anxiety in terms of like talking to people. So it's like how to say I become immune to it, because like once you do it, you get accustomed.
Right.
It's like public speaking. You do it once or twice, you're nervous.
Right.
Yeah, and for me, when you say this thing you talk about being receptive, I talk to some people who I thought would never talk to me, who have like this, like, I'm not a good person face. You know, like, I'm not cool. I'm not gonna be friendly face.
Yeah, they just don't see.
Yeah, I don't want to say the B word. I don't know if that's allowed, but you know, and then like they talk to me, and I was like, okay, you know, you can't really judge a book by its cover all of the time.
No, not
really.
really.
You know, like I'll see a girl or a guy, and I'll be like, nah, they look like so like rude person, and then I talk to them, and they're very friendly and open, and completely different from what I thought. So yeah, I think like if people could get over their shyness, like you said, people are more like very receptive, more than you think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Wait, am I allowed to curse?
I'm not sure, but if you do, I'll edit it out.
Well, can you just like bleep it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want to edit the whole like segment if I have.
No, I'll just like beat that part. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, just say whatever. Say whatever now. Yeah.
Okay, because I was just gonna say an example of what you're talking about is there was this one person in my school, and I'd known her since like I was 8 years old, and she like was in my same school until we graduated university or high school. So, and I never like interacted with her much, but I always thought she kind of hated me for some reason. Because she just had like really bad resting bitch face. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No, that's what I was trying to
Yeah, resting bitch. No, but it's like it's not. She, I don't know anything about her. Maybe she's cool. Maybe she's not. I don't know. But point because she just always looked pissed off. And then like, when we all graduated high school, for whatever reason, we just like bumped into each other and we were kind of talking a little bit. And she like seemed receptive. She was like, having fun with me and blah blah blah. And then I was like, I always got the impression that you like kind of did not like me. And she was like, why? And I was like, I don't know, you just always look kind of upset when you looked at me. And she was like, oh, no, that's just my face. Okay. I just have, resting bitch face. Her words, not mine.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So you guys are cool now?
I mean, that's the last time we talked.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not like we're good friends.
I guess she was lying. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? She went to, she went off somewhere.
But by the way, like, what motivated you to do like this interview thing? By the way, so like for me, I just like talking to people. I thought, like I want to entertain people. That would be good because if I enjoy watching it, I thought, in my opinion, okay, I could like do it. Like
right.
When you watch people do it, you go like, I could do a better fucking job than him. Like, oh, he's kind of dumb doing this. So like, what about you? I don't know. Like for me, I thought I could do a better job.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely a part of it. But I think, to be honest, I went through like a number of different. So I grew up in Japan, and when I was 18, I graduated high school, went to university in Canada, and then after I graduated, I worked in the U.S. for about 2 years. And throughout the time that I was working in the U.S., I was doing I did like 5 different jobs in 2 years. Because there was one job that seemed promising and it would be kind of good for a while, and then after a few months I'd get bored and I would get like really depressed. And this kind of pattern happened. I was like, all right, let me try a different industry, let me try a different job. And every single time I switched, it went through the same pattern. And after just a few months, I would find myself like hating being alive. Like I just didn't want to wake up and go to work. I didn't want to do any of this. And I kind of realized that I need to have like a drastically different approach to life. And I tried to think of like, okay, when have I actually felt like the most fulfilled in a sense? Okay, this is gonna be a long-winded answer. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Have you ever heard of a game called League of Legends?
I played that like today.
Oh, okay, word. Okay.
Yeah, I'm jungle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been playing League of Legends since I was like 13.
If you still play, let's deal.
I played today as well, actually.
Yeah. What rank are you?
I'm right now about 200 points in Masters.
Okay, we can't do. You should give me advice. You know what rank I am? Guess what rank I am?
Silver 4.
Iron 4.
Oh shit!
I've been stuck in iron for like a whole year.
Oh shit!
So I'm complete like garbage at the game because that's the worst you can be, right?
Yeah, I think that's.
And like if you watch iron players, you're like, do they have a brain? So like, I'm stuck. Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. Okay, so go ahead. What, your analogy. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I was in North America, I was playing a lot and. Honestly, that was like the only thing that I did that was fun and that like was mentally engaging. Like I've spent more time studying the game League of Legends than I have in my like 16 years of schooling combined. Like it's not even a question. Like I never studied for school. I never really did schoolwork. Really.
Yeah, not productive.
Yeah. All I did was put my energy into League, and in North America, the highest I got was rank 100, which is in Challenger.
Oh, okay.
So I was like regularly going against professional players.
Oh.
And this sort of thing, and it was so damn fun to put this much like mental energy into something, and it felt like so rewarding. And I imagine this is what it feels like for people who are competitors in any field that are like at the top of their game, or not even just competitors, but people who are like studying something they're deeply passionate about. Whether it's like being a doctor or like a molecular biologist or whatever it is. And once I kind of had that feeling, I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to feel in my job.
Yes, that's true. Yes, I agree.
And it wasn't that it was easy. It was hard, but I could still see myself doing it like 15 hours a day. Like that was the shift. It wasn't just like me sitting in my room jerking off 15 hours. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like I was just having fun. It felt like work. And then once I realized that, I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to harness that feeling.
What jerking off?
It's like the Arnold pumping iron quote, Arnold.
He said it's like coming.
Yeah.
No, but that's good, right?
Yes.
Because if you have that philosophy, you're gonna that's pushes you towards working on more. Right? Yeah.
In any event, so I ended up going in a couple different directions. So at some point, I was in North America and I was like streaming League of Legends because I realized that I wasn't good enough to I could compete with the pros in like a solo queue setting, but there's no way that I could like compete on like a professional level.
Right.
I could just,
they're different. Those guys are different.
I could tell that like I had to work my ass off to be like rank 100. Professional players like are in Challenger with their eyes closed.
So, without even trying, right? Without even studying like you.
Right. So I could tell that I just wasn't as talented, but
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe I'm good enough and entertaining enough to be like a streamer or something. So I tried that for a while, and just like the audience, I just don't think I'm that entertaining. Like, I think it's not my strength as like a person to be entertaining in front of a camera, like in that way. Like when I look at other streamers that are really big, like Tyler One's a really big streamer.
Speed.
I don't really know many streamers, but point being is like when I look at clips of streamers, I'm like, okay, this is a natural born entertainer. This is somebody they're big for a reason because it's Darwinist in a sense, right? Like the good creators rise.
Yeah. That's true. They will always find a way to be that way because they're born that like people who are rich. Like you could give them the same amount of money that you have and take away all of money, and they will still be rich because they know how to do it, right?
Right. So like I think those streamers like they have something that I don't. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to make something like this work, but utilizing my strength. And I realized that my strength was like connecting with people. I think that I'm really good at connecting with people faster than most people. I don't know. Okay, actually, my theory on what it is that I think part of because I have like so little anxiety.
I still can't believe that, but I guess there are people like that over there.
That like I can like be myself and like not feel worried about like being judged or anything like this.
Wow.
In front of like almost anybody. And I think if I am like putting myself in that vulnerable position right from the start, then other people feel comfortable to put themselves in that same vulnerable position.
Because it's feed energy.
Yeah, like that's what I think it is. I mean, I'm not sure that's just my theory on why.
No, I agree.
But I've noticed that I really like talking to strangers, and strangers typically like talking to me too. And I always found it really easy to open up to people about like myself or things that might seem more private for a lot of people, and I find that as a result people are willing to reciprocate. So I was like, okay, if my strength is like kind of bringing out the best in other people, then if I'm going to be a content creator, I need to be able to involve other people into my content. And street interviews I thought would be kind of like me dipping my toe into that sphere. And so far it's been pretty good, but I definitely want to do more stuff over time.
So by the way, when you said like you don't have anxiety, do you mean that like in a whole spectrum, or just mean like social anxiety?
No, I mean like across the board.
Really?
Yeah.
So if I told you go out in public right now, right? I'm not going to.
Sure.
And dance. Would you have anxiety for that? Like, okay, this like that camera, right? That's a traffic light. People are just waiting, and I said, just go in front of them, just throw it a little bit, just for like 5 seconds. Would you have anxiety for that or no?
Okay, like when I say I have like no anxiety, it's not like I'm like an automaton.
Like a sociopath. Automaton.
It's not like I'm incapable of like being nervous or something, or like making an ass of myself. Like,
Okay,
it's not like
you feel. So do you feel shame? Is what I'm saying.
yeah, of course. Like
You're not like a psychopath.
yeah, like I'm capable of being embarrassed. What I
Right, it's not like you will like unalive somebody and be like, okay, I don't care.
yeah, no, it's not like that.
All right.
What I mean by I hold okay, so like I should rephrase. I have almost no anxiety.
I see.
And
Okay.
what I mean by that
Clarify.
is like I like don't worry about stuff, but like to like an unhealthy degree, to the point where like I mentioned earlier, it's like what I attribute most of like what goes wrong in my life is because of that.
I can't see that happen, but
No,
to
it's
me, I'm
bad. It's bad.
But no anxiety is like everyone wishes like they don't have anxiety.
It's bad.
I know. I mean, like the grass is green on the other side. You know.
Yeah, but like you want a healthy amount. You want a healthy amount.
I mean, everything balance.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Like, because what's the point of anxiety? Anxiety, like, negative emotion is useful because negative emotion gives you like a signal on what to kind of stay away from. It's not a perfect mechanism. It might,
of course,
it
not,
might
nothing.
misdiagnose.
Oh, we're getting deep here.
Yeah, but it's like it's a general, like you touch something, it's hot, ow. You move your hand away. That's like the most simple form of like negative, feedback.
Right.
And anxiety is just kind of more complicated, which is why like it doesn't always get it right.
I mean, you never will.
Right, but like for example, why do people have social anxiety? It's like, okay, well, it's because you're presenting yourself, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position to be ridiculed, to like lower social stature, and like evolutionarily and all that. This is all valuable things to like get negative emotion from. And like for example, for me, like for example, deadlines. If somebody has a deadline coming, let's say you have like a school assignment. I know it's probably been a while for both of us, but
Yeah.
or a work assignment, whatever it is. And the deadline is fast approaching. Generally speaking, as it gets closer, you get more and more anxious, and you're like, "Holy shit! I got to do this thing! I got to do this thing! I got to do this thing." But for me, like that, I mean, it's still there, but it's like so dampened, I think, compared to most people, that I'll just like blow it off. Like I'll just like like when and that's the part that's bad is that I'm too easily maybe it's that I don't. It's not that I don't have negative emotion, but I can ignore it too easily. Like again, it's not that I have no anxiety; it's that I ignore it too easily. Like for university, for university, I submitted probably over 60% of my assignments at least 2 or 3 days late. And every day that I submitted an assignment late is an additive, like 10% subtraction to your grade.
Oh, okay.
But I like had this like weird ego complex where like, say the paper I turned in 3 days late is a 60%. That's because it was a 90% paper, but they had to subtract 3 days worth of penalty.
Okay.
So in my head I was like, okay, my work was worth a 90. So I got a 90, I don't care that it was a 60.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm doing the same amount of work. And it's not like I'm even doing it like more efficiently. I'm just delaying it by 3 days, and the only difference is I fucking got a worse grade. Like that's worse if I wanted to go to graduate school, if I wanted to do X, Y, and Z. It gives you less freedom. So it was just so pointless. But because I didn't have the anxiety pushing me to just like get it done on time,
right.
I was just being lazy. And yeah, I think the lack of anxiety makes me not work as hard as I should.
So for you, in your opinion, now you've recognized you don't have enough anxiety. How does somebody who lacks anxiety get more anxiety? So like for me, the way I work on my anxiety, because I'm opposite from you, right? I started off from anxiety, you started off from like no anxiety.
Right.
So for me, it's anxiety therapy. So whatever I'm anxious of, I'll expose myself to that and get numb, and then just develop from there.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're afraid of people like looking at you, just lie down on the ground outside somewhere, and you'll get
force people to stare at you.
And just sit down here for an hour, and then eventually you're like, whatever, right?
Right.
Like if there's a naked girl in front of me, I'm gonna like stare at her boobs, right? And I'm telling you something, after like 3 hours, 2 hours, I would not even realize she's naked. Like when we go on set, at first they're like, oh guys, everyone's naked, and then eventually they seem as you don't even recognize. It's like having clothes on. You don't even know they're naked anymore.
It gets normalized.
So I think like for people who have anxiety, that's the way that we should do it. But for you, I have no experience on not having enough anxiety.
I don't know, honestly.
I should worry more.
Yeah.
You have to bring.
If I knew, I would tell you.
Oh, you don't know? Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, even now, it's a big problem because I have like like, okay, the video I'm working on right now, which I should finish editing by today or tomorrow, I recorded that in July. So, like, I have such an enormous backlog of footage.
Me too.
Yeah, that, like, I just have been, like, too, like, lazy. I just haven't had, like, the push to edit it.
Me too.
You know, so, you know, this is, and I, you know, it's what is it right now? It's like November something.
Dude, I have like 10 podcasts I didn't
Yeah,
post.
yeah,
So
yeah.
don't be surprised if I don't post this immediately.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm the same. So, like, yeah, like, you know, I'm editing videos right now where I'm like, or the people I'm interviewing are in t-shirts and shorts, and it's almost December.
And you're posting it in the winter, right?
So,
I see.
And it's not like the editing is like super hard. Like, I'm just like being a lazy piece of shit, you know?
Yeah, sure. And it only takes like a half an hour or something to
Editing it? Oh no, that it takes way longer.
way longer.
Yeah,
Okay,
me
okay.
editing my videos takes like, I'd say like 15 to 20 hours per video.
Wait. But your video is on a reel, so that's
No,
basically
not
like
those.
only 1 minute.
No, not those. My
Oh,
YouTube.
the YouTube
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah,
well,
the
that's
reels. Yeah, reels take like 30 minutes.
different. Yeah, because it's just 1 minute, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
the reels are fairly easy. But my main my main focus is the YouTube.
Okay. I have to subscribe to YouTube because I found you on Instagram. I watch your Instagram content. Yeah, I didn't know you were on YouTube also.
Yeah, the Instagram stuff is just like a funnel. Like, honestly, I only started Instagram really recently, like within the last couple months, because
Okay.
yeah, because I've been making YouTube since like the beginning of the year. My first video was on New Year's.
Dude, I'm missing so much of your content then. I thought this was like your main thing. I'm missing.
No.
Dude, I have to. Okay, I'm gonna like when I go home, I'm gonna watch because your videos are good.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, you have a like cameraman, or you like? For me, I just like have a tripod
Uh,
and I walk around with a tripod, right? And it's like, oh, interview. You want to do an interview? Well, I want your advice on that, by the way. But I just woke up and be like, oh, you want to do an interview?
Right.
Right? And that's how I do it. I don't know if there's a better way. You can tell me later. But I just like put it on my tripod, and you know. And grab
I
my-
just think I want a cameraman because.
So you don't have one?
No, I do.
Oh, you have one,
But
okay.
I'm saying I wouldn't do it without one, just the way that I do it.
It's easier, right?
Because-
It's more on the spot, right?
Yeah, it's more like impromptu. Like,
yeah.
you know, if you have to like set something. A lot of the times, like people are being interviewed and like they'll answer like a few questions, but they're just like out drinking with their friends. You know what I mean? Like,
it'll take too long to set
yeah,
up.
exactly. If I'm like,
yeah.
all right, can I ask you a question? All right. You know, like, I don't want them to like just sit there. You know, I'm fairly
It's
straight.
kind of awkward, right?
Yeah. But if I have a guy follow, and also not on top of that, it's more like dynamic. I kind of like the camera feel more of the camera moving around. Like it feels more like you're there as a viewer, in my opinion, as opposed to if the frame is just still.
Oh, I
and
see.
Like that, like stylistically.
I need a cameraman.
Yeah, like stylistically, that's what I prefer. I don't think that's necessarily better. Like for example, Tokyo Sims. He's a big like street interview dude.
Yeah. I think I know him.
Yeah, and I think most of their content, I don't know if they use a tripod, but they're stylistically very different because they have the camera in one place pretty much throughout the whole interview, and the person that's interviewing and the person that's being interviewed both face the camera.
Like
Whereas when I interview people, I'm facing the people that I'm interviewing. Like it's as if like I'm hanging out with people, and then there's just somebody filming. And I mean, they're much more successful than me, so maybe their approach is better.
Yeah, I don't know. But what do you do? Like, do you do impromptu? Like for Harry, right? He just like starts it.
Yeah.
But for me, I just say, oh, would you like to do an interview? Or I just say interview. How do you like? Do you just start it?
Well, my
or
camera,
do you ask?
my cameraman points. He starts filming, but he points the camera down, so that way it's just filming the floor. And then I ask them like, hey, is it alright if we ask you guys some questions?
You ask.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then if they
okay.
say yes, then he'll flip the camera up.
I see.
So it's like it's ready to go, but I always get permission first.
Okay.
Because I think it's kind of stressful if you're just like hanging out with your homies in Shibuya and then like suddenly a camera's in your face. yeah. Like, so I think that could like put some people off.
Okay.
And I don't want to be a dick, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's kind of a gray area because like yes, you're in public. Like I feel like if you're in public, you're kind of giving your like unspoken consent to being filmed because
I mean, everybody has. Like,
like
smartphones.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you don't know who's recording.
Right. But it's a bit different when you're specifically the subject. You know what I mean? It's like it's one thing to be filmed and you're in the background walking by, or like someone can see in the background that you're doing something weird. But like when you're the subject, I think it's a totally different vibe. And you know, if I was just like getting drunk, especially like, you know, a lot of people in Japan, like work and personal life is so segregated for some people. Imagine if you're like part of a really serious organization and you're out in Shibuya like getting naked, like, or so, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's your fault for doing that, and you shouldn't be too upset if it gets out on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can understand why you wouldn't want someone to shove a camera in your face.
Okay.
So like, you know,
Has there ever been a time I interviewed in Goa like you didn't like it, or like the person was really rude, or like any bad instances that ever happened to you? For me, there's never, like, I've never had like a bad like anything bad happen other than they were just boring to talk to.
right.
Other than that, it's like, that's what I mean. Has anything like that happened?
Yeah, there's been like of course the boring. There's also just been like people who were like, you know, like no thanks, and I'm like, all right, and then we move on.
So nothing.
I think the only time that was kind of weird, and actually I uploaded it because they said it was okay. Was I was interviewing somebody, and another guy like ran up and just like kicked him, like mid interview. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, I was so confused. I was like, is this a friend? And like the guy that kicked him looked pissed. Like he looked fucking upset. So I was like, oh my god, did we just like stumble on like a street fight? And then the dude explained later that that's like his senpai, and that's just like how they greet each other. And I was I was like, all right, weird, bro.
Yeah.
I can't relate, but so they said it was okay for me to put up, and I did. So.
That happened to me in Shibuya like a month ago. I was like walking around and I see like two guys on the ground and they were like fighting. But I mean, like they were just like play fighting. So the Tokyo Sims person you're talking about, is that the white guy with the glasses?
I think so. I think he's half.
That's him, right? He also had an interview he uploaded where someone was a total douchebag and they came and like he's like spit on him.
Oh shit!
You didn't see that video? Oh yeah. Well, yeah. He had a video like that, and he had to be like, "Hey, what's the fuck wrong with you?" And I'm like,
yeah, no one's ever spit on me. No.
you know, but in that video, I think that's what you're talking about. But if it's a guy, same guy, I'm thinking about Tokyo Sam, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
But he's pretty famous too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's just because he's bigger. I mean, I imagine the bigger you get, the more likely you're gonna have people that don't like you. So maybe
I mean, that's unavoidable. You're always gonna get haters.
Yeah, like maybe like I don't think I have any haters to my knowledge.
Really? Any comments? Nobody saying anything bad?
Not really.
I'll be first. just the balance in the universe. Yeah. Hey, I don't like your content.
I think the only like kind of I wouldn't even call this negative.
Okay.
But the only comment that I guess that's like a criticism is I've had a good amount of people say that like I was ripping off Komini Confessions.
The guy who's like has my hairstyle.
Yeah, Miyachi.
I know him.
Yeah, the lack of hairstyle.
No hairstyle.
yeah. Don't worry, bro. I'm getting there, man.
Yeah, but I don't think it's ripping off because it's topics. Like, how can you rip off topics, right? That's English. How can you steal like questions? That to me, that's not ripping off.
I don't even think I have any questions that are the famouses. I don't think.
I know, but at the end of the day, we're going to be asking and talking about similar things. You know, for example, if somebody talks about relationships, I can't talk about relationships because you talk about relationships. That's dumb.
Yeah, I think the main contention people have is really just the fact that we're both wearing a suit. I think that's really it because
he wears a suit, so you're wearing a suit.
Yeah, like, and I've watched his content, and like I like Komini Confessions. That's like what inspired me to do this to some extent.
Oh, hell?
Yeah, he's the one.
He's random.
Yeah,
he just talks about like random shit.
Yeah, and I think that's fun. And he's the one who like I'm the reason why I wear a suit is because of him. Like I thought it's so funny to like do this kind of medium where it's like inherently silly, but in this like professional getup. Like I thought that was hilarious, so I wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. But if you look at his videos and my videos, they're stylistically totally different. I think he like Tokyo Sims. I think like Tokyo Sims and Miyachi, the way that they do it is like it's a lot of it is like cringe humor, which I really like.
Yeah,
it's like
too.
The interviews are edited, and also just the way that they conduct them, it's like meant to feel very awkward and uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people like that. Like for example, Miyachi and Cole, like whenever they're interviewing, they're like very stoic. They don't make a lot of facial expressions. And when somebody says something, fucked up or just something strange, they like let it marinate. They're like good at that. They're good at just like keeping a straight face and just like letting this person have to like bask in the, in the unfortunate thing they just said.
Yeah.
But for me, like I can't help it. Like if someone says something funny, I just laugh. Like I can't fake,
I think that's a whole part of the persona that they're trying to portray online. I think they do it on purpose.
Yeah. I think it's. I mean, and it's working for them, and I think it's funny. Like I like what they do.
Oh yeah.
Or actually, I haven't really watched much Toku Sims, but I've seen a good amount of Miyachi's content, and I think they're both kind of have that similar style. And I think it's good, but it's just not what I would do because I personally that's not what my personality is conducive to. Like I'm not good at that.
Me too. I never thought about doing that.
Yeah.
I just interview and I react.
Yeah. But a lot of people like what they do. Which is why they're more popular than me.
You think so? Yeah. Have you thought about collabing with them?
Actually, Tokyo Sims was one of the people. He actually did respond.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. There was one thing I wanted to do with him, and he responded, and then I explained him the video idea, and he was just like not that interested. But he responded. So hats off to him. He was like, "Hey, what did you have in mind?"
Okay.
I told him the idea. He was like, sorry, like that's not the kind of thing that we want to do.
I see.
So I was like, all right.
Maybe I'll podcast him next.
Yeah. Message him.
If he responds.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I think I need to grow my followers to get a response from those guys.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he has quite a bit.
Yeah, I have like what 200.
No, I think he has.
No, me.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I just need to add a K to that. 200K.
Yeah, 200K.
And then you get a response from them, right? Yeah.
We gotta farm some more clout.
Yeah. So, but how do you choose the cameraman, by the way? Is it just the same guy every time? Because we never see him, right? We only see you. You never like, hey, this is the cameraman. Like, you never do a review, right?
The first cameraman that I had two. My first cameraman was a guy that I met in League, actually. On Japanese solo queue.
You played Japan? Oh yeah, for the pink, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played in solo queue and I met him. He's another like high elo player.
Okay.
And I just noticed that he was like an English speaker, and then I noticed that his name had the word edits in it. So I was like, oh, maybe it's like an editor or something. So I just Googled it and just what would come up. And he was a freelance editor for like esports teams in Europe.
Okay.
So like, have you ever heard of like G2?
Yeah, G2,
Fnatic,
and
T1, these kind of companies.
Yeah,
he was an editor for some of those companies.
That's like half a club.
Yeah, so he's like a professional. And I just out on a limb, like after one game that I just happened to play with him, I messaged him. I was like, hey, do you want to make videos in Japan? Like, do you have any interest in making videos outside of like League? Like, do you want to make videos in real life? And he was like, yeah, I've been living here for a little bit. Sure. Okay. So I was like, all right, word. And then we did it, and it worked out great. So I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome.
All right.
But then he eventually moved back to Denmark, which is where he's from.
So you don't have a cameraman yet?
So yeah,
so a replacement.
I didn't have
Call me up anytime you need a cameraman.
So I didn't have a cameraman, and then I was like unable to make videos, at least make those street interviews for a while, which was fine because I had such a big backlog anyway. And then I was just getting, as I was getting bigger and bigger, I kept getting message requests from people being like, oh hey, like, when are you next in Shibuya? I'd love to say hi. I'd love to hang out. Let's get a drink. I'll buy you a shot, whatever. This sort of stuff. And then at some point, this guy messaged me, and he was like, hey, I'm like living in Japan, studying Japanese. I'm in language school. Let's get fucked up together. And I was like, hey, cool, but like, can you also hold a camera while we do it? Okay. And he was like, all right, sure. And then we hit it off, and since then he's been my new cameraman.
Oh, cool. Sounds good.
So
yeah.
And he's great, and he's actually probably going to show up because like in front of the camera, because my previous cameraman kind of didn't want his face to be out there.
Okay, well, some people are like that. That's cool.
Which is fine. But this time, this guy doesn't really care, so he'll show up here and there.
Right.
I mean, he's already been, I think, on one of my Instagram posts, possibly. But I didn't say that it was my cameraman, so it might just look like some guy.
And how do you determine like your video? How do you get like new ideas to make some stuff? So for me, I'll just watch other people and get ideas off of that. If I can't have like something original, so like how do you? Do that?
Pretty much, I'll just whenever I think of something, I'll just write it on my phone.
That's what I do. Same thing. Yeah.
But I try to avoid looking at other people's stuff because I think I'll like if I see, like I'm not very creative, so if I see a way someone's doing something, I can't help but like copy it. So I need to not watch it, otherwise otherwise the vacuum doesn't exist for me to fill. Because if that vacuum gets filled with some other thing, then like I can't like push it out. So I try my best not to look at other people's stuff as much as possible. Otherwise I'm just gonna end up doing the same thing. So
I don't want anybody like confronting you. Hey, you stole my content.
Well, I just don't want to. I mean, it just. I think it's fun because I think if I'm forced to really try to think of something creative, I can. But I'm just like not good at it. And I think the more I do it, the better I'll be. Right.
I think you're good at it. I mean, from what I've seen.
Yeah. So some of the questions I've gotten like suggestions from friends, or I'll just like think about it, and I'll just like think of something silly, or I'll have heard like a long time ago. Like for example, one of my more successful videos, one of the questions in it was, would you rather have dick-sized nipples or nipple-sized dicks? Which is just like a really stupid...
bad option.
Yeah, just like...
both are horrible.
Yeah, just a really stupid would you rather. I don't remember where I heard it, but it's just been a would you rather that I tell people when I'm bored, just since I was like in middle school or something. And then someone in my comments mentioned that it was Filthy Frank. He's the one who came up with it, or at least popularized it. And I watched Filthy Frank when I was a kid, so I understand. That was probably where I got it.
Okay.
And you know that was great. You know, a lot of people. You know, everyone was just like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I actually did a series called Would You Rather online once.
Right.
Just like Would You Rather questions.
Right. Yeah, I think Would You Rather questions are fun. Typically, like the way that I like to do my questions.
You can do interviews like that too. Like Would You Rather this one, you know, that could be something, you know.
Yeah. Typically, the way that I structure the video is I always have like 3, maybe 4 questions, and I want like 2, like half of them to be really silly, like that one, and I want the other half to be like kind of serious. And it's like kind of offers this cool contrast.
Well, that's nice. Yeah.
So the video I'm working on right now, which should be out either today or tomorrow, or realistically tomorrow, the questions were, or the serious question was, should prisoners be given the right to vote?
Okay.
And the silly question was just something like, what the hell did I ask? I don't remember actually, but it's something along the lines of like dick-sized nipples or nipple-sized dicks, you know, like so it's kind of a weird funnel where you go from, you know, asking this like absolutely out-of-pocket question to like these drunk people, and it kind of like lowers their guard down.
but asking that serious question to drunk people might be
but then
might be weird.
No, but it's great. I love it because some people like you get like a world of different responses because you know drunk people, you know, people are different when they're drunk.
Like I don't know.
Like
I wouldn't do that, but okay. I mean, each their own.
Yeah, like some people will like just say something silly. Like one guy was just like, nah, like they shouldn't be allowed to vote, but I'm okay with them jerking off in their prison cell all day. You know, like that's just something stupid.
Okay.
And then some people will take this answer really seriously, and they'll get into like human like ethics and like human rights and like what it means to be a person and whether being a prisoner takes away from that. And like it's to me, I find that really funny to have this contrast.
Okay.
And that's what I prefer in my videos. So I always, in every one of my street interview videos, I put a blend of serious questions and a blend of silly questions.